her I would tape it.
Oh, she's in my lab. She's great.
Yeah, she's got a lot of great questions. Um, so I am going to take your questions,
Um,
both
I,
you and Caitlin. So Caitlin, I don't know if your microphone works, but you can also chime in with chat. Go ahead. So I interrupted you, Madeline. Sorry.
I was gonna say I didn't have any specific questions coming into this. Like, I'm a little behind on like hardcore studying for this exam. I was just gonna see if like anyone else had important points, but looks like yeah, looks
Yeah,
like
I
we're
know. Well, we got what Caitlin's here, so maybe Caitlin's got some important points, questions to ask, or I can share some things too. Um, you all should have received an email from me,
Mhm.
um, several probably, relating to the exam. And I posted something last night. You'll have 3 hours to take the exam, right? Just a lot of time. I, I probably could have gotten by with two, but since I have not done this kind of, I usually do 2 hour exams for my 105 biology 105 class, and that usually takes them 2 hours. This one requires more writing, so I thought, I'll give you 3 hours. Now the thing about these exams, online Canvas exams, right? They're going to be one question at a time, and there's no order. It's like your order of questions is different from somebody else's order. So the questions are randomly ordered. Um, but I think it would be beneficial for you to look through the exam before you jump into it to see where the big point questions are. Because the last thing you want is to be surprised, right? You get to a question at the end of the exam, you got 2 minutes left, and it's an 8 pointer, right? So I would say get the big point questions out of the way first, and then um, go back to the other ones. In fact, I might even decide on. Here's a question for the two of you. So when I do exams as one question at a time versus all the questions on the same page, I always think it's easier for the student to see one question at a time. But when it comes to the point I'm just making now about leafing through pages and trying to figure out where the big point questions are, maybe there's an advantage of having all of it on the same page. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I've never actually had an exam online where it's only one question at a time, so I didn't know that was cool.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
Um, I really like having all of them available. Like when I get a paper exam, I kind of go through and get all
Yeah.
the easy ones done first and make sure like I have time to work on the harder ones and like review my answers afterwards. So it might be more helpful to have it all in one thing. That way, if it's open book and like say that all of them are on one topic, but it's like spread out weird, it'd be hard to keep track of those questions and look for answers. So it might be easier to have it on one page.
All of them on one page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Caitlin's saying I like being able to see all of them too. All right, that's good. So I will do that. I'll reframe the test so that all the questions are available. But that doesn't change what I suggest, which is make sure you're not surprised at the end, right? Because there's this randomness. You get the 8 point question in the first question, but you might get an 8 point question at the end. And so you don't want to be at the 2 hour and 50 minute mark and you have an 8 point question or 2 hour and 59 minutes. Do not leave the exam environment, right? Because I mean, I'm not saying you can't toggle from your exam to Google or whatever, but you can't close the exam because once you do that, then you're done, and whatever you submitted is what gets recorded. And I've had students do that, and it's a 3 hour exam, right? It's like you better be ready to sit down for 3 hours. And I'm not even saying I give you 3 hours. It might take you two. It might even take you one if you're really good at it. To be honest with you, if I gave this in a classroom setting, I think you can get through it in an hour and a half. But since it's open book and I'm giving you an opportunity to look through stuff, um, I figured 3 hours is probably. Shouldn't be having problems with 3 hours for sure.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask, because I know some online exams, if you even like go to a different tab, they shut it down, and that's not the case for this one, right? So that won't happen.
Correct.
Okay.
As far as I know, it's like
Yeah.
I don't think I've never had that problem with students declaring that they were shut out after something switching pages or not acting on a question for 10 minutes or whatever. So it's not like you can't. I'm okay with you like consulting notes, but I think that you cannot go into this class, the exam, unprepared, right? That is to say, well, it's open book. All I have to have is everything out there, right? And even if you've not spent any time reading it, you might think to yourself, oh, I'll be fine. I'll just read it then, right? You're not going to have, I don't think you'll have that time. I think you need to digest it. You should probably have answers to study guide questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to understand something else about my philosophy on this exam. I understand this is hard. That is to say, the situation we're in, right? And there's an extra source of anxiety or uncertainty, maybe is a better word, that we're all going through. And I want to kind of let out the air a little bit on the pressure that comes from taking exams. So I hope that this exam will not be as hard as it could have been if I did it in the classroom. Because it's open book, you have that advantage that you wouldn't have had if we were in the class. But it's still going to be ambitious, the test. I don't think I don't think I've traded off all of the rigor for the empathy, right? Um, I think it'll still be ambitious enough. You'll learn something from it. But I am mindful of that, right? I am mindful of this added dimension of uncertainty that we have. Trying my best to not lay it on too thick. And I think that it's funny, I remember asking this question of my colleagues, and I'll come to your question in a minute, Caitlin. And we lost two semesters or 2 weeks of classes. And I said to my colleagues at a meeting once, I said, just to be clear, we're not going to make up those 2 weeks in the 6 that we have when we get back, right? It's like if I deliver online, there's a temptation just to pack in more material, right? There's no
Yeah.
timeline. It's like I could very easily have added some new stuff to my lecture content. It's not like I have 3 hours with you a week, right? I have an open-ended number of hours, so I try to avoid doing that. I try to avoid making up those 2 weeks that we lost. Okay, Caitlin says, I guess I was wondering how much I should look at different organ systems. Blah, 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 that showed all the different systems, wasn't really sure to look at. So I think that we talked about a lot of organ systems. We did not talk about all of them. So some of them are still to come, like the endocrine system, the nervous system, reproductive system. What else do we have? Immune system. We haven't talked about those systems yet. So Caitlin's asking about what systems that you should focus on: respiratory, excretory, circulatory, digestive, and locomotory, right? Muscular systems. Those are the ones we focused attention on so far, and that is entirely my focus. So, sure, you need to know systems, but you need to know them more than just the systems. You need to know like elements of the systems. It's all the stuff that comes into lectures, right? It's like the circulatory system elements, the differences among groups, what kinds of circulatory system a jellyfish has versus an insect versus a squid versus whatever. All right. That help, Caitlin? think yeah. Should we just look at what was covered in lecture? Yes, and let's see. So on the handouts, right? The handouts, the lectures, and then there was the first day back. Oh yeah, first day back. Bless you. First day back. There was I was on circulation, and it had a circulation video. That was an HHMI biointeractive video. You all should be looking for that. And that was in the bottom of the page, the circulation handout. As far as I know, that's the only extra source of insight that I required you to go through. It had animations of the frog heart and the crocodile heart, and there were questions on that handout that related to why frogs have 3 different colors on their circulatory system, and what is special about the crocodile circulatory system. That's different, right? That wasn't a lecture. That wasn't covered in lecture. That was covered in that animation. So other than that, lecture material, yeah, covered in lectures and on the handouts. So there you go. And quizzes. But quizzes are really lectures. So that help? Alan, is that good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, and now, okay, I think that helps, Caitlin says. Yeah, good. Don't forget you have a quiz, dissection quiz due tomorrow. I know, Caitlin, you've taken it. Madeline, you haven't taken it yet, have you? Yeah. And then you have this exam can be taken all the way up to 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. So that means it has to be in by that time. You can't just start it at that time.
That'd be a terrible idea anyways.
Yeah, I know. Start at 11:58. Some people might like pressure.
Oh God.
The last 2 hours, start at 10 p.m. I had actually had people start right at the last possible hour for getting the exam in online.
I don't trust my Wi-Fi enough for that.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's a good one. Okay, other questions? I can't think of anything else that I want to share. Oh, no, I do. So, you're going to be writing, right? I told you that. And I don't know how many points, but let's say it's, I don't know, let's say 30 points, 5 or 6 questions. But many of those questions are going to constrain the type of writing you do, like bulleted writing or lists, or prompted by keywords, like what's the word, what's the exact word that goes here kind of writing. So it's not, a lot of it won't be that hard, but some of it, most of the questions that have writing are going to be word limits. Like you cannot just ramble on. Hello, Katrina. I know you got your microphone off, but I just want to say hi. So you're gonna have to be mindful of that when you come to these essay questions. That I've got word limits, and that'll help me, and it'll help you too. But it'll help me when it comes to grading, because I have 35 to grade, and I don't want to be grading 300 word essays for a question that could have been answered with 20. So I put word limits on that reflect what I think would be an appropriate number of words for an answer to question, with some slop, some wiggle room for you. But be aware of that. And then also there's this sorting feature that exists for quizzes. And I think I noted, I've got that instruction on the test, but you have to drag the mouse. I don't know if you've ever done sorting on Canvas quizzes, but you have to drag the boxes around to get them in the order you want. And if you've never done it before, you're going to struggle with it initially. And there are like 4 or 5 questions that are going to ask you to sort something. So you want to make sure that you're, and I might even do this. I might even just put a fake quiz up to So you go into it, you know what you're doing, or maybe I'll put a video together or something.
Wasn't that on a past quiz? Wasn't that
Yeah,
something?
you're probably right. That's a good question. Was it on a past quiz?
I think it was like the kidney and liver like circulation.
Ah, yeah.
Was
Okay.
that one? Okay.
So yeah, if you've done it, then I don't have to do a practice one. Can
Okay.
anybody else confirm? Did we have that? Caitlin, Trina? I think that helps. Yeah. So I will. Yeah, I think I remember doing that too. Okay, good. So I don't have to do it then. Yeah, that's the kind of thing you'll be sorting, and then writing. Writing is going to be more than you have had, and that's partly because I don't want this test to just be about memorization, right? I mean, you just pull out the notes from a particular place and cut and paste them in your answers. That's not pleasant. So I like the idea of a little bit more open-ended questions. That's where it gets a little bit more ambitious. Okay. What else do I want to say about the exam? It's everything from before we went away to locomotion, yesterday's topic. I have posted an immunology exercise or activity. That's for the next unit. Yeah, I guess the question I would have is like, do you have enough to feel like you have the handouts, you know what you're supposed to read, terms you're supposed to know, questions you're supposed to be able to handle, videos. Oh, it's interesting. I posted videos, and the three of you, I'm not hardly going to get any kind of consensus view on this, but it was funny because I do these YouTube videos now because I ran out of user space on my Canvas account. So and when I go into YouTube, I don't know if any of you made YouTube videos before, but YouTube has user statistics, like how many clicks or how many times somebody visited your video. And I was looking at, I don't know, it was maybe the locomotion or the osmoregulation video. It's like 8 views. I thought, wow, 8 views. Kind of disappointing. 36 students in the class. But then I thought, maybe people haven't gotten around to it yet. Or maybe people are just relying on the slideshows, right? Not the videos. And I am going to want to get a handle on that. Because if the videos are not really useful, I'm not going to make them, right? I mean, there's no sense in spending the half an hour or more time to make them if they're not useful. So I'm going to ask you about that, but more than when there are more than just 3 people here. But I'm kind of curious if you have any opinion about the videos, video lectures, any of you. I really like the videos, says Caitlin. Oh, that's nice. Madeline?
I haven't watched them yet. I was doing the other parts of it, and then I'm gonna go back to that.
That's okay. That's good. Good that you're honest. I mean, it's like there's so many different ways to learn, right? I suppose maybe what Caitlin's saying and you're saying is because there are so many different ways to learn, it's nice to have the luxury of those different options. So yeah, I don't mind doing the videos. Videos are kind of fun. It is funny about videos. I have a class, Biology 105, I teach, and it's an hour and 15 minutes long. I never go an hour and 15 minutes, but I usually go an hour. And when I do videos online, it's like 15, 20 minutes. And I realize, wow, what am I doing with the remainder of those hours? Right? How am I filling out 40 other minutes? Most of the time it's storytelling. So there's no story. My videos are pretty much just cut and dry. I don't have any anecdotes to tell during my videos. I like the videos and like when you talk through the slideshows. Very good. People might be just waiting to watch them. I know that I have exam in all my classes. When there are videos outside of lecture, I go through all the lecture material. Very nice. Yeah, that's good. Okay, thanks for those responses. Okay, so can I take any questions from any of you? Caitlin and Katrina are here as well as Madeline. Madeline can speak your questions, and you can also write them, Madeline. And Caitlin and Katrina are chiming in on the chat dashboard. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to take them. I try my very best in the exam to cover everything equally, proportionally. So you're going to get questions about allometry, you're going to get questions about digestive system and the structures associated with, and things that are happening in different places along the digestive system, and then circulatory system, all of them, right? And those study guides are really guiding me in my preparation for exam material. Oh, also, don't forget, I did post some exam advice handout that was more integrative about material across topics that you might want to look at if you haven't already done so. It's on Canvas, and it's on, I don't know if I can show it. Canvas home. It's underneath Unit 2 lecture material, and it's called Biology 319 Exam 2 Preparation -1 docs. And it's not just a compilation of the handouts. It's actually new. It's not new stuff. It's more like integrative stuff. You want to look at it. Make sure you look at it. Let's see. Katrina's asking a question. Did you say at one point that you posted answers to study guides for us to check? Yes. And the answers to the study guides are posted underneath. I'm not a big fan of this Canvas organizational system. I'm trying not to lose control over it. But I got supplemental material for exam 2 handout answers. I've got 4 of them posted. I did not post the digestive system answers or the allometry answers yet. I apologize. But since I did that live, I thought, well, that's a little bit lower priority than the other stuff. So I've got under supplemental material, and so yeah, that's good. And then did we cover digestion study guide before campus? I remember filling it out, but I think I may have left it at my apartment in Eau Claire. Oh no. I will organize a study guide answer for digestion, so that you don't have to go back to Eau Claire to get your notes. So I'll post that tonight. It might not help if you decided to take the exam. The exam is available at 6 p.m. I'll try to do study guide for digestion before then. Okay. Other questions? Other questions? I think we covered some of the mechanic stuff anyways. Organizational things. So Katrina says, I'm good. Caitlin says, awesome, thanks. Madeline, you're nodding your head.
Great.
All right. So we got half an hour in. We talking. I don't know how much it was helpful, but thanks for showing up. I know you'll do well, but I wish you luck. Don't forget to take the section quiz. And if you have already taken the section quiz, you know, Caitlin, you have, and so have you, I think, Katrina, because I graded both of yours today. I have edited, but I think I still need to do a little bit more to consult with Dr. Jaden about a question. So the scores you have now posted are pretty close to what they'll be. And the scores have been pretty good. I was very happy to see that on the dissection quiz, that the scores were that good. That was an easy test to grade. I'm not looking forward to grading all the rest of the stuff I have. All right. Well, good luck to all of you. And again, thanks for chiming in. And you all have a great day. Stay safe, right? Okay. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye. All right, save my recording.